Hi, I'm Chris Clark with discgolf.law. I wanted to come on here today and just discuss a little bit with you about the economics of disc golf and how they're evolving. This is important because we're seeing at least a couple of areas where mistakes are being made and opportunities are being missed. Some of the ideas I'm going to discuss with you today probably aren't going to be very popular with everyone, but if you stick with me, I think you'll come around to understanding why having sound legal and economic basis for financial models in disc golf is essential for the future growth and success of the sport. I'd like to start with a basic discussion of the law of supply and demand. You've probably heard of it. Most of us learned about it fairly early on in school. The concept of supply and demand says that as prices for a particular good or service go up, the demand for that same good or service goes down. Economics can be complicated and affected by a wide range of factors, but in simple terms, when supply and demand and price are correct according to market forces, we reach equilibrium. Equilibrium in a marketplace is desirable because it's efficient. You have an appropriate amount of product available for sale, a corresponding amount of buyers wishing to purchase the product, and the price of the product has been optimized. I'm going to give you two examples where in recent times we have seen highly inefficient pricing in disc golf. The first is tournament entry fees. In disc golf, we sometimes face a problematic mindset among certain tournament players that they feel in exchange for their tournament entry fee, they should receive a player's pack of near equal value. So if the entry fee for the tournament is $50, they feel that they should get $50 in value back in their player's pack. You also may have experienced many tournaments for which the entire field fills up within minutes. I think it's important for players to correctly understand what the tournament entry fee is and what it's for. First of all, a portion goes to the prize pool. Having generous prize pools attracts more and better players to participate, and that's what needs to continue to happen if we want to continue to grow the sport. Second, a portion of the entry fees go to compensate the tournament director and their staff, if they have any. This is where I think we're missing the boat. Running a disc golf tournament is a ton of work. Maybe some of our viewers who are tournament directors can comment below and describe some of the stressful things that they have to deal with that probably many of us aren't even aware of. Here again, we want the brightest and best running our tournaments. And one of the best ways to attract them is to make sure that they are fairly compensated for their time. What do we do when the demand for the available number of slots in the tournament exceeds the supply? That is to say, the available number of players, slots to participate in the tournament cannot meet the demand. Our basic high school econ class tells us the price must go up. I understand that increasing tournament fees might not be music to everyone's ears, but it should be. Our tournament directors will be better compensated, prize pools will increase, and even the value of the players' packs will go up. So that's example number one. The second example is disc pricing. I want to describe for you a scenario that we have seen play out countless times in the past couple of years. These numbers I'm about to give you are 100% made up. I'm not taking these numbers from any deal that our law firm has done. I think the numbers are close enough to illustrate my point. Let's say that Dynamic Discs releases a limited edition PAIGE SHUE Team Series Sheriff through their exclusive online retail partner, OTB Discs. Something like this one. Again, I'm making this up just to illustrate a point, but OTB releases the limited edition disc for sale on their website at midnight. And the price to buy this disc from the OTB disc website is $20. By 12:05, the entire run has sold out. A few days later, these PAIGE SHUE limited edition team series sheriffs start showing up online for around $100 each. Those of you that have purchased discs online in the past few years know that this is not only realistic, but a common scenario for the most popular runs of discs. Let's break down the math on this transaction. Let's say it costs Dynamic Discs around $3 to make the disc. And under Dynamic Discs contract with PAIGE, they've agreed to pay her a $2 royalty for each of her team series discs that are sold. Taking Dynamic Discs' other costs into consideration, maybe they wholesale these limited edition discs to OTB for $11 each. OTB then sells the discs at the retail price, $20, to a customer who then goes and flips the disc on eBay for $100. In this transaction, again, using rough numbers that are made up for the sake of this illustration, from a disc that buyers are ready and willing to pay $100 for, PAIGE SHUE gets $2, Dynamic Discs gets $9, OTB Disc gets $9, and a random individual disc flipper gets $80. The economics of that transaction aren't just slightly off, they are incredibly out of whack. It's not good under any scenario for the world champ to get 2% of the revenue for her team series disc, for the disc manufacturer to get $9 for designing and creating and manufacturing the disc, for the retailer to get $9 for marketing and stocking the disc and selling it on its website, and a random individual who spent a few minutes online to get 80% of the revenue. And again, even if my numbers are off by a few dollars here and there from the actual numbers, it doesn't make the point any less valid. Basic economics tell us the retail price of special limited run discs that sell out online in a few minutes should be much higher. Experience has shown us that the market can bear higher disc prices, and raising the prices on these types of discs would have several beneficial effects. For example, players make more from disc sales. Retailers and manufacturers become more profitable. Having these individuals and companies in our sport that are properly compensated for their efforts contributes to the longevity and the stability of our sport. Now, don't worry, there will always be base plastic, stock molds, there will always be discs on the used rack at your local retailer. There will always be cheap local tournaments and league nights and things like that. I'm not suggesting that disc golf should become inaccessible for new or young players or players on a budget, or that these players should be shut out of the game. In fact, what I'm suggesting, I believe, would achieve the opposite of that. Offering fair financial incentives is the best way to make sure that the economics of the sport attract the brightest and best players, retailers, and manufacturers. I can't think of a better way to ensure the growth and longevity of disc golf than that. If you have other ideas, please comment below, and feel free to contact us through our website at discgolf.law.